Let's now take you back to Centurion, where some residents have been without power since Wednesday, we understand. And our reporter, Puseletso Mokoena, is still there and joins us once again for a live update. A very good afternoon to you, Puseletso, once again. So any official word now from the city power officials as to when exactly those repairs will be completed and power restored in all those affected areas?
Of course, Alicia, we will be speaking to the officials in a while, but of course, we are still outside the Olivenhoutbosch substation, which was affected by fire just a day before we celebrate Christmas. We understand that this incident took place on the 24th of December. We understand that it is suspected that it is the criminal acts of vandalism, the criminal acts of vandalism of infrastructure and theft. But I just want to step out of the shot so that my colleague Kwazi can just continue to show you that the repairs are indeed still going on. But we understand from the city that they just released a statement saying that they are pleased to report measurable progress in the repair of this substation. And of course, as you can see, that technicians are still continuing to work to ensure that they return this facility to full operational readiness following the fire that took place in this area on the 24th of December, just the day before we celebrate Christmas. But of course, speaking about the authorities of the city of Tshwane, I'm joined by Alpha Hadebe, who is part of the ward committee. Alpha, thank you so much for your time. Well, we understand that the city has just released the statement saying that they are pleased that the repairs are still going on and they are coming all right. Can you please just bring us up to speed as to what is happening inside and how long is it going to happen?
Okay, no, thank you very much. First and foremost, let's just extend our gratitude to the officials of the city of Tshwane, the technicians and everybody that has been there from the day one as when the incident was reported. So the estimated time of restoration is unclear at this moment because of the updates are given as and when specific phases of the work done is completed. So we've been constantly requesting the public to exercise patience because of there's none of us actually that can come out and say today 12 o'clock the lights will be on. However, the amount of work that has been done, I mean, from the rerouting of the cables, from the testing that has been done to one of the transformers, which is transformer R, which is next to the transformer that has exploded as a result of that antenna infrastructure cable theft, as it were, and that resulted in this infrastructure being destroyed like that. So we are quite positive in terms of the progress made, as you can see yourself. Right inside there is tons of people each doing their respective work, and we can safely confirm that the report that has been given by the authorities is quite accurate because of from day one we've been here, they've been constantly, as and when a certain portion of the work has been done, they've been giving us the particular report.
And Alpha, the way you're explaining the amount of work that has been done already, it seems like the damage was too severe inside.
It was huge. It was a huge antenna damage that was done as a result of this thuggery. Because if you look just on your left there, down there, that is the transformer that is supplying this entire community. And there are various, I'm talking about Cosmos, Dal, Olivenhout, and other various surrounding areas that were affected. That includes business. So one can actually, make sense of it all in terms of the amount of loss, in terms of the revenue for the city and the inconvenience caused by this particular damage that has been done. However, like I've said earlier on, that we want to extend our unlimited gratitude to the city of Tshwane officials for the amount of work that they put in. But the amount of work, the damage that's been done here is way too severe. And I must emphasize that from the onset, when we were busy getting the highlights, they said to us that they wanted to test transformer R, which is the reserve transformer, in terms of a backup. And all of us were holding thumbs to say that if that particular transformer does not test positive, it means we have a serious problem on our hands because of the replacement of this particular transformer is going to take forever. Bearing in mind that the road infrastructure is not also in favor. I'm sure you guys might have experienced as you were coming in that it's not actually conducive for even a smaller vehicle to come through. So one could actually imagine if there was a situation where we have to now bring in a massive transformer like that one. So we are actually grateful that it tested positive and the technicians are working around the clock, and we want to continue to applaud them for that.
And lastly, let's talk about the continuous act of criminality of theft and vandalism of infrastructure. It is continuous. This is not the first time. And of course, the residents are still continuing to live in darkness, and they cannot continue to live in darkness for the longest time now. This is concerning. And what is the ward committee? What are some of the plans that you have as the ward committee?
Well, at this current juncture, because we have various sections, we have extension 22, extension 60, extension 19 and 27, etc. So extension 19, giving a practical example, they have patrollers. So we were actually extending the similar message to other extensions to say, look, we need to convene ourselves and organize ourselves as a community of people and actually safeguard these particular hotspots, because it cannot be the responsibility of the city of Tshwane. We are the end user of this particular infrastructure. As a result of that, we then have the responsibility to actually ensure that we play part in making sure that there is safety. However, we will also then extend, in an event where they is necessitated, we'll then extend, a hand to speak to the city of Tshwane officials, say that, look, what is it that needs to be done properly to safeguard this particular infrastructure? But I not withholding the fact that the community has the responsibility. I can assure you now that, some of the community members do know who are these people. Some of them, they probably are their tenants, and it's just a matter of people afraid to come out and speak. And that's one of the challenges that we're facing. But we cannot put a burden on the city of Tshwane, whereas we as the end user as well have the responsibility to ensure that together with the city of Tshwane, we join forces and ensure that we safeguard our infrastructure.
Alpha, thank you so much for your time. Well, that was Alpha Hadebe, who is part of the ward committee in this area, essentially speaking about the plans that they have in place to ensure that this act of criminality comes to an end, because you understand that the fire incident that took place in this area on the 24th of December was due to the criminal acts of infrastructure vandalism and theft. But of course, with me right now, I have another community member, but who is a business owner as well. We understand that your business, Bruce, was affected by the interruptions of power in this area.
Yeah, the business was really affected by this thing, because as we work from home, as for me, I'm a graphic designer. I work with my laptop and my computer. So for now, my computers are off, and I don't have a backup for this electricity for me to get power and to attend my clients. And it really affected me, because from the date up until today, I lost about 8 clients. Yeah, that is that really affected my business. Yeah.
And you're also speaking about something that you saw earlier on before before this incident happened in this substation. Can you also talk to us about that?
Oh, okay. So there was a rain rain on Saturday night. Before Sunday, so which means that rain, it really affected these extensions, because we also lost a bridge at extension 60, and then here there's a huge trench that was caused by soil erosion, and that cable was exposed, which means even if the criminals were passing by, it was going to be easier for them to just come and take off the cable, not digging north. Yeah, so that's what I saw. But when I passed by on Tuesday, there was a lot of water there by that trench. So what we need is the community, maybe if we can have a great eye by that place, because it's also more like a swamp. And there's a river here, so the water will be flowing to the river. So if we can get maybe as for that, we need something like a permanent solution, because it's also one of the major hotspots here in Olivenhout-Bosch for cable theft. So if we can get a major solution there, that is maybe security, or if we can get a proper concrete or pavement that can make it harder for it to be eroded. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Bruce. Well, Alicia, that was Bruce, who is one of the residents here and also a business owner. We understand that just from Wednesday up to this day, he has lost 8 clients due to his business not being able to function well due to the electricity that is not in this area. We understand that they shared the sentiment together with Alpha, who is part of the ward committee in this area, saying that patrollers and security is needed to ensure that the continuous criminal act of vandalism and the theft infrastructure comes to an end.
Right, Puseletso, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for that update. Puseletso Mokoena, SABC News reporter, live to us from Centurion.